what a difference just a few vibrational frequencies higher makes. Leave it to a couple cats to help out with that. It's important to have an animal around you, and especially like also handle a higher learning tool. See, it's not enough to just get in your body. You have to handle something that opens both hemispheres of your brain. And I suggest to play music. I'm looking at this other cat here. His name is Gray Gray. I do have tons of names for my cats. Do you? Some of them are human beings that have been reincarnated. Have you ever thought, who do I think I am? Besides for where? But is it just a how? And why? Why? See, all this stuff, kids are going, it's midnight, they feel like they're watching a rated X movie like you, but really, is that how it happened? Comment section down below. Welcome to the Sun in Scorpio. This is the Halloween week. The veil is thin, as they say, and if you haven't been calling upon your angels, do it now. Say, I would like my cavalry to surround me in case you are a warrior like me. And if you're not, but you hear the sound of your own heart's wisdom being said here every once in a while, if it's not just a 3-minute spew out of the 45 minutes that I may do, like and subscribe. I know that your money isn't yours because you don't want your own money, for one. You don't. There's a better way to say it. It's like this. It's like, well, as soon as you want your money, then you can have your money. Otherwise, it's somebody else's, and you'll never have you. Okay, so now the brand that I'm making, that I've already put together, I didn't put it together, but I'm downloading. What I mean is I got the download for it. A lot of the information has come in about it. It takes like 3 to 6 months to finally give it to you guys. Not that you're downloading things here, and especially channel. You don't have a channel, right? I'm certainly not a channel. Nobody has a brain here that's a receiver, and we don't get information from the plasmatic field via just being alive here in case you meditate. No. And I'm Sharon. You know me on Facebook. I've mentioned I live in Kentucky. This right here is a trumpet. You, as a human being, if you're a human being, you know sarcasm, and you're like, yes, you know how to laugh from the truth. It's scary to hear a non-human being laugh because, first of all, what the fuck are they laughing at? I say that as really literally, they come from a place of programming too much so that it's like, well, we're supposed to, you are supposed to know the humor that comes from you being programmed by what? What? Comment section down below. What could it be? See, because I didn't go, I'm like this, I'm like, well, I didn't go to that school. Whoops, I wasn't interested in that class either. Oops, I'm not even that political. And that particular, maybe you understand. Let's talk about religion again. Maybe you want to talk about it a little bit more. The answer is no. The humor is down. If you didn't laugh, you're not in their club, man. Their club, and you wonder what do you mean club? Do you mean whip club? Like my whip here? I have a whip. And then there's a club. The club is kind of hard. Yeah. Are you into the flat hats? Okay, I see. Those flat hats are interesting, but that means that you've been clubbed. How do you like it? Eventually I will put together, I've talked about it. I've tried to jump the gun so many times. Because I'm so excited about having been contacted by benevolent beings who live in outer space who have sent us the interfacing system called the English alphabet and all of the material of which that we're trying to convey, whatever. We can end that right now, especially Babylon, right? We talk about it, see, but what I'm saying is that there's a passageway available through there into outer space. And if you take the freedom to capitalize anywhere, anytime, in case you find yourself with a typewriter, there's two types here, by the way, and that's why you would want to write one of these types. If you can play the game, it's a video game, and you're in it now. If you're watching it, and so if you're from my generation, the '70s, hello, people born in the '70s, you were raised on video games, perhaps. You went from Commodore 64, you had Atari, Nintendo, and so on, going off from there. See, there is a use for it. You can really respect how that. My favorite game. You know what, right? And it's still going. Pole position, right? I'm doing pole position one all the time. Why? What is it? Well, I find myself in pole position. The first car, the winner car, which is in the race, the signal is there, and I'm on position number one, and then there's two, and then three, four, five, and we have a bunch of racers in the back. And it's not a race, except for, no, for sure, I'm not holding up traffic, baby. Nope, I don't hold traffic up. And also, I don't like when people try to hold me up either. So I'm an Aries rising, and I actually drive. There's something called driving. If you really think with me and listen, know what the word, like screwdriver, like what does that do? Like what is it? Like you have a drive, right? What is that? If you do, yeah, you can see it. Yeah, how about your sex drive? Now back to Scorpio. Oh my God, this is such a Scorpio-onic subject matter. But any subject matter that penetrates to the prime cause and really gets to the solid truth, like peeling an onion, and that onion just doesn't disappear. Now you're making a really good stew, and in your belly it goes. And you're like, I never went that far. Most people just can't fucking peel the onion, man. And they're like, what's happening? It's like everything's disappearing. Why? Why would you think it's anything outside you? As the soup that you have to understand with gone within, do you need an exorcism? Sorry. You live in the United States, it's no joke. The answer is that the whole fucking nation needs an exorcism, man. I realized, like, whoops, I'm sorry. I need to get out of here. There's somebody apparently angry at white people. And it's like, bottom line, can we get into what Christ Jesus was talking about? I mean, what was happening there? I don't know. I mean, I admit that person we don't even really know. Um, why does it come up again? Well, we are looking at Neptune going back into Pisces for one more time. Do you think there was anything at all of the truth that could be reflected through those stories? As far as the kids, do you realize that that's just a story? If you're 30 years old, 60 or 90, I'm talking about the Saturn and Pisces people, which I tried to talk about them. You don't really find ones very seriously religious. They're more disenfranchised of their spirituality. They are at heist. I call it at heist. It's two words put together. No, I'm sorry, atheist. Yeah, that's what at heist means. You are robbed. Just put the two words, cram them together, and you'll never know. It's just atheist. Say that. We don't even know what that is. Any sheep, doesn't need a shepherd. Just kind of wait a minute. I was told by the shepherd that if you can at least just separate the words out, you don't have to really literally find the bird and the word. And it's ideal if you like just for at heist. I guess I would suggest you could say a heist and put the T down. T is truth. If you ever notice it's a cross. If you don't think it looks like the cross or a crucifix, don't have children. They're fun and everything. Learn to love your neighbor first, maybe, and then go from there. Maybe they have kids. If they themselves are human beings, follow them. You, not so much. Let's get that. See, a human being has humor and can do a puzzle like that and just admit, yeah, this looks like what? I mean, really, imagine if it wasn't stuck in the ground. What would it look like then? What is it really? We'd say it's a bullseye. It's right in the center, right here. Perhaps that's where you are. There. See, a lot of places are named after that. I mean, every place is named after there, actually. It's always there. Where? It's there. It's not here, it's there. If it's a place out there, then you say there. See, you cannot avoid. The is there too. The stuff that's there is in there too. See, the R is particular. You can put it down and just say thee, thy, not thy. See, thy, doesn't that mean, no, think with me, thy means kind of ownership of, perhaps? And as much as those big people would like to think that thigh just took over, no, it's not your thighs. You might want to, again, practice not doing something rather than doing. That's the strength here on this plane, as far as if you are and you know that you're the universe. No, the skill here is to not do it. Yeah, that's what Einstein said, right? It's really easy to blow things up. Try not doing that. Try go and making it smaller. Why? Why not? Why not? No, I mean, it's a challenge. Maybe it really is. See, yeah, Buddha would go so far. Who was it? Lao Tzu and Confucius sat at the table and they were drinking their tea. And there Confucius just saw how to split the atom. He just saw, he says, oh my God. And Lao Tzu was like, ooh. And all you can do with, really the wisest thing you do with that is you just drink a cup of tea over it and you look at each other and go, now who in the hell is going to let that take them over? You don't let any idea, no matter how bitchin' it is, take you over. You just have a cup of tea. Make sure that cup of tea is hot to the preference of your slow drink that you would want to continue for eternity. Because you do not want to live in a constant fucking mushroom cloud, right? Thank you. Next lesson, kids, as we are approaching 4:28 in the morning. I would like to get back to my calling. What I'm supposed to do is, well, we're all supposed to communicate. See, we're taking a little bit of a break, and I was doing kind of a comic relief during this break. It's like, no, don't forget, babes, we're going to move forward. The planets are going to start moving forward, okay? We're going to see, I don't know, I hope the 3i Atlas does a turnaround and starts dancing the Lindy with Venus. I don't know, who knows what, but we're protected here. There's too much of an elaborate experiment to happen for it to be disrupted from its own failure. Really, but have we seen anything fail yet? According to the neighbors over there, no. No, we're doing perfectly fine, right? Evolution actually, it's progress. It's progress, damn it. And whew, if you're a woman and you know it, clap your hands. What were you thinking? Like, have you ever asked your mother? Really, is this the same video where I was questioning, like, did you ever ask yourself, where am I, out of all of that, I mean, wow. Can you make the buck stop? And what's a buck? But, you know about the female deer, and then there's the doe. See, I think it's like, time's out, let's go grow some food. I want to sit in the sun and drink my tea. And did you know tea is an actual plant? There's a tea leaf. And the rest is, it's called infusion, herbal infusion. Any of it. We have chamomile tea. It's not tea. You either have chamomile and opportunity, opportunity, or you have a tea leaf that they have harvested and they put it inside of a thing and say, here's some tea. Yeah. Otherwise, there's many things you can steep up, medicines. But the water that you put during the full moon, you can infuse plants into your water and get its medicinal value, its sacred spiritual connection offering that it does have, which that's something that is very real. We are surrounded by an opportunity to know something beyond the illusion of what's happening. For some reason, it's getting away with it. Whatever it is, pure deception. See, and they call it demonic and stuff. At least we don't call the teas demonic, the herbal medicines. But then again, of course, that's fucked with royally. We all know that, right? Who do you know out there grows their own thing? And then so we have just the backdrop. We're in a institutionalized setting where things are being stolen. Even see, you are being stolen from you too. I hate to tell you, but see, it's important to kind of remind mankind because it doesn't happen all the way. The darn organism begins to wake up. It begins to just stand up and wake up and say, oh, see, there's a part of the organism that's doing it anyway. But oh God, lo and behold, those people, hi people from the 60s and even the 50s, late 50s, especially when the Pluto peaked into Leo. Before then, it was kind of a taste. They're kind of ahead of their time there, the 1957, 58. But anyway, even before then, but for sure, what I'm saying is, generationally, we're experiencing I hate to say it, but like a kind of it's a process that unfolds, and there's something called death throes. I hate to say it, but here it is, Halloween, and so I'm going to finally put the day after Halloween. Hello, we're doing All Saints Day, my mother's birthday. Hi, Mom. Again, what were you thinking again? And she's like, oh, God, you have no idea. Just keep going, keep going. You're great. What about the language and the? It's just yeah. Can I get some support here? You know what I mean? Can I get a little bit of food and stability happening? Because you have no idea, right? That's what you have to tell your spirit guides after a while. You have to say, well, I get it. I got my downloads, but can you give me a break? Can you give me a break? I really want a fucking break. I'm being attacked by demons. The more I see heaven, the more I see hell. Yeah, the more it's just breathing down my neck now. It's like, sorry, but I have so much in between you and I that is the truth. See, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. Minute 19, and I finally got to it. That's the key to defending yourself and also overcoming your narcissist. See, if you think you're in a quagmire with it and they're surrounding you all around, and it can feel like that, and indeed you are. You're in an amazing hell here. Sorry, this is a planet high. Did you love Jesus, by the way? That's who she was. She was here to say, don't forget that hell is here, and I am definitely going to represent that. No, I didn't say I'm Satan representing. I said I am the one who's going to sacrifice myself so that you can fucking see it, and that's probably the life in a very kind of figure it out way that you should be living. And you don't really have to toss your body up into front of the train and call upon the Channel 4 News to do it. Just know that there's some other way to help people. Just, babes, it's the most dangerous thing to be achieved as just a human being, one who has lost their mind. Ooh, be careful, though. You need, in the West, you need protection, because what people have just heard there when they say that you lost their mind, is basically what they think of also when they think of freedom. Just look into these people who wave the American flag to the suffering of other people. They don't know how to be there for them. Their presence that they're being towards one another is hideous. It's brutal. Now that they're doing just great, according to the Rothschild Foundation, who has hijacked the education system for at least 100 years now. No, it's just over 80 years, really. A lot of people really. Look at those people turning around about 70 years old that are just figuring out that they have been lied to. That's why. See, how does it drop in to them? The reason why they individually, their own intelligence tells them, in the fact, is because they kind of put the math together. They see after so much time, it wasn't worth a damn. What was it worth? I'm still in debt, and I am still alone. Why? What did I work for? If anything, they have a generation, a few decades younger than them. This is what happened to me, by the way. I worked for somebody for nearly like 20 years' time. I stopped working for them, and I went back to work, and then the business switched hands, and before it switched hands, she kind of looks around and goes, I don't know what I did, the past 20 years, 25 years that I ran this business. I hope it was some good, for some good. I did put my kids through college, but boy, I mean, it just seems like the whole run. You can tell that she was reflecting on that, but she was reflecting on a lot of things, a lot of stuff. She was wrapping up a lot, though. See, this was somebody who had Venus and Capricorn, sorry, and then Pluto was heading right over their Venus. Boy, that's a out of the 250 years that now somebody time era that chose you, something said you're going to go down and experience a Pluto over your Venus. It's similar to having Pluto go over your Moon, which I'm going to be experiencing that within the next 20 years. And but if anybody can handle it with a golden with a silver lining that is electric, it's the Aquarius. That's see, they're going to get everybody involved. They're going to say, no, we're all in hell. Yay, no, haven't you? What? You didn't notice? Well, that means that you didn't make it to heaven. Because only the people in heaven truly can see it. Yeah. And they're like, woo, you're just kind of like in between. Yeah, there is that, sorry if I've seen. So in between. Yeah, and thank me over and over again, really. That's all we have, really. We don't have much going on, just like you. You're striving to get that avocado sandwich. So how do you get your avocado sandwich? I was just reflecting. There was a mental picture. I didn't talk about it, but it's like, it's too bad we don't do our own gardening. Some of us kind of know how to live here in the wilderness, like where I do. If there's water in the creek, it's possible that there's fish there. That we've always had fish in the creek. People wouldn't know that, though. See, they think it's weird to do that. It's like, no, that's what we do. Is we just kind of um, it's called relax a little bit, I guess. That's where we have this vibrational frequency of your do a little astrology here before we close it up. Uranus goes into Taurus, and it's going to ask us to be in touch with the earth once again. It really is calling for you to respect the sanctuaries, which includes the air. The air needs to be quiet, like frequencies and electrical. Yeah, I hear it. What you were talking about, friend. Sorry, I don't know your name right now, but you were trying to tell me about a frequency that you hear. Yeah, no, you're completely bombarded with, first of all, radiation poisoning, not only from technologies that have been released in the past 25 years, but we live on a planet that has housed technology that you could be living right next to a huge site, ruined site, which they call mountains, that emanates radiation from their technology they used way, way back, just hardly 800 years ago. They're lying to you about what's happened in history. Yeah. So it could be that not that long ago. If you just think with me a little bit, or just think on your own. See, this is the thing. It's not like after a while you're not going to be thinking with me. Think with your own faculties and include an experience that you've had, and just kind of look into it. Keep looking, keep peeling those onions, keep peeling through your opinions. The word onion is in the word opinions. Yeah, and that's just what it is. If it's not the solid truth, see, there's a solid truth. There's a solid truth about the unsolid truth, and it's that it's like an onion, and that it's not solid. Let's get into that. I love it. Children do. They love. Oh my God, it was like, the truth just kept going. Yeah, the truth is that way. It's not scary unless you don't like growing up and get the hell out of this. What is this, Shauna? The world is on fire. Ooh, goodness gracious. We talk about later on when. See, I'm trying to find my ephemeris. Where's my book? To do some fucking astrology here. Sorry about this. Weird how I'll space these things out and put them somewhere else. Sorry. Huh. Weird. Uh, Edited. Just, we have Uranus going back into Taurus, which is very strange, but it shakes us up in a calm manner that's just sits you back on your lawn chair and say and takes the lawn chair out from under you, and now your ass is on the earth, and says, and this is all you needed to be comfortable here, dummy. Your inner ability to gain satisfaction out of just your breath All you need is the air that you breathe and to then love other things, living things here. If you happen, it's just, see, people are jaded about what, Shauna? Oh, about everything, but especially other people. So they don't value a connection like just the 30-second walking upon somebody and then passing them on the road, let alone a 3-minute going through the line and saying hi to the new clerk and then leaving. Or how about the 30-year bondage that you're doing with each other that you can't get away from each other and you just do not know what love is? Would you please stop? Who? Who? Stop who, Shauna? I have an issue with women. Sorry, it's Scorpio time right now, and I love women, though, no, don't get me wrong, and men. I have an issue with both of them, darn it. Both of them can become spiritually, mentally, and physically, emotionally aware. And they can become enlightened as human beings. How about that? They can get, they can get to the point of the paranormal, which we call paranormal in some parts of the next of the fucking woods in Oklahoma there that are brushing with fluoride still. That there's telepathy, there's remote viewing, there's empathy, first of all. That's what that is all part of. An empath is using all of that. We're studying vibrational frequencies within bodies. You know, we're looking at everything. We can see it in your eyes. We can just everything. There isn't a single thing an empath. You can call us an empath, but pardon. Is it somebody whose eye is open? I would say yeah, because the big E there with the M, the E path. Put the M down, and there's E path. See, there's energy that we're dealing with, and there's a passageway through, and it's through the plasmatic field, outer space, which is not empty. No, if you're watching this now and wave your hands in the air, just wave them like you just don't care. Especially at 3:50 in the morning, and then everybody will say, "Oh God, I pull my hair," and they get more security in the daytime, and they don't know why they feel so out of control. It's like it's because you don't have control, you fucking idiots. Practice love, love one another more. You know, it's not about trusting other people out there, you damn assholes. It's about trusting, period. What kind of trust do you put in your own faculties to know something, let alone whatever about some other people, you know? I mean, that's your karma if you live so paranoid and in such a way that, yeah, you're in bondage with them. I don't know, babes, we all have that here. But what are you doing to relieve not only the fucking obvious that's happening, but your ancestry? What is that? What do you think it is? See, I keep doing this, and I think it's natural when you're going bald and gray. Sorry. I don't know. This is, I will start putting my hair up, sir. Don't worry. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter what I do or any woman that's alive does. She's always going to be picked on, and especially, let's just talk about generally the human being that always wants to do better, you know, wants to fit in. Just would you knock it off if you're really advanced as a human being? You're not. You don't care. No, 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 no. No, you only know too that you have so much time here, and if you make it past the age 50, that fucking midlife crisis is something else, you know. Because especially in the West, you know, it's really a push to be something other than what you've already achieved. You know, excuse me, I've had my whole life that I was living here. For a woman, I don't know. It's like she needs to open up and start communicating, but everybody does. See, I was trying to tell you about. Sorry about this, but hey, how do you like it? Hit like and subscribe. How are you? Nobody's doing this for you but me. Talking about that generational, I call it the generational value. Okay, it's a generational V. You know, we are uh, experiencing a hand-me-down, I guess. And but what is it from? How? Where? Why? Well, of course, communications, actions. Really, yeah, knowing how to do things. See, a lot of that has been challenged over the last 5 years, babes. It has gotten pretty fucking bad. They're trying to delete that process of people going like this and learning that way. Having said that, oh, I'm talking about now pointing back at you women, because only you would know that real live essence of transferring information by way of bonding with your children, right? I'll dare say. And babes, if you're not going willing to think with me about how different men are from women, and see, women might already be coming up with some kind of philosophy that you wonder, well, where is it coming from? And see, but can you have your philosophy, but really it's your way of life, without changing your means through which you are resourcing and getting what you need to live here disease free? I would say no. There's a big fucking blackout. You're still in the one-sided monetary system. The one-sided, I say it's one-sided, is because it caters to a piece that is missing a lot. Yeah. Now that I think about the piss poor fucking literature that's written in all flatline, which it's missing the upper spectrum, which is the non-physical vibrational frequencies, that is much more powerful. See, if you want to know how you overpower all this, see, babes, if you want to change anything here about how that you know that these things that they're using are harmful and you want a sanctuary, say, no, I would rather, is there some way? See, that's where I'm in the middle of it, trying to do that now. You have to go to the courthouse. You have to just sit there. Sit there for 30 years. Say, oh, this seems to be an ongoing case. Who are you? See, you can't show up there as any one individual. You have to say, I represent humanity. I am the human being. In fact, I know the truth. This conversation that I'm having as me as a leader, very obscured, right? You think, oh, how daring. What's going to happen next with this person? I'm trying to tell you that all of humanity, which I am, I'm all of humanity. I call myself humanity for a reason. It's just I don't afford to black out. And like the neighbors over there doing materialism like crack, cocaine, just absolutely ignoring that there is a humanity around them that is, after a while, it kind of rubs them wrong if they're just like, you know, you can just send information out to them. Now it reminds me of religious people that go door to door, but no, just send information out. But really, be like, have you noticed the narcissists, the big baby society, that are a bunch of attention whores? Oh, and they think it's in the name of progress that they do anything. I don't know. They're always right, though, no matter what. You know, it's never like, actually, that was to be prevented. And then, see, all you can do is, like, throw the thing that something was trying to warn us, you know, whatever it is that has the power to exterminate as well as reseed the planet. Make no mistake, it's benevolence. Trying to tell us about climate change, which is only a fucking warning about a third world war coming out on all y'all's heads. It's, yeah, it's like, where you got your boots on? I mean, who's the boots on the ground? You are, but really you should have your feet, your bare feet on the earth. And looking at each other like this and saying, wow, look at this perfect opportunity. What? Well, where are you? Are you at the ocean? Well, you have the ocean there. Big time opportunity there. It's pure energy there. If you knew anything about energy, really, the air itself, just you are the perfect opportunity here. What are you going to do? See, you don't know, but you're really actually beyond, right? Some people trying to tell me, it's like, well, thank you for telling me that. I understand. That's why we communicate. That's why to communicate. Bring the vibrational frequency up. Up. Raise your vibrational frequency. That's the only way, if you're concerned, and we are, about an enemy, which it isn't really an enemy, more so than just this lower vibrational frequency that, okay, as a gardener, hi women out there that are having children, what's up? As a gardener, I've gardened plenty, and see, you create that garden. It could be as well as having animals, a certain kind of animal, chickens or whatever. You create it in order to keep it healthy and to keep it making sense at all and to keep it yours. You have to not only know how to create it, but learn how to destroy it. And learn how to destroy what is necessary to destroy in order to keep it healthy and disease free. To keep it the sanctuary that you have intended to keep as it as. Now, having said this, comment section down below as a woman, if you're a woman watching this. I don't really limit it to just women. I think men can understand this too. I think it's a human thing. I say that there's enlightenment that can get on the same page by way of having opened an account with outer space and or reality. Do it right. Do it right. Hey, I'm still here under a lot of stress, under a hell of a lot of stress. I'm pushing through something that you can't get through it unless you're as light as a feather. And that means that the human being is on the rise, right? The human organism is on the rise. This means that their life is being threatened. This means that they're getting right down to the wire and they're saying, excuse me, enough is enough, really. And it doesn't have to be an individual midlife crisis kind of thing, saying, oh God, I got to get my shit together because really, your shit is together, baby. By that time, what 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 do you have to offer humanity? That's the way it really goes, and the crisis might be that you're not being heard at all. Well, if you want to be heard, get on the records over there. That's why you can never not hear the story of Christ Jesus. That's why you fucking hear it all the time. Because that thing filtered through the fucking judicial system over there who's writing something down. Yeah, if you can imagine, they have an archive there hidden somewhere, and they're not really telling us anything about it. See, they have a policy to keep the truth around, which includes you, really. But are they going to inform you about it? They use it against you just like your wicked mother there, or any narcissistic family, people that are following the royals. The way to be is to withhold and lie and feed sugar cubes and manipulate and do attachment development forever. Welcome to the United States, and anybody who's being I don't hear that other countries really appreciate it after a while. They're like, excuse me, but this has been an infiltration of idealism or just a mentality that is sick. Why? Well, look at the Snickers bar. You want us to eat that? And now they're look at McDonald's, and they are. See, and we don't know. See, especially in the United States, I think the only worse place than the United States is as to how sheltered they are as far as their information being controlled into them. It's fake science and everything. Canada. Canada boasts just they are knocked upside the head so fucking hard a long time ago. They say no, we were the first ones to declare and take in the free the slaves thing, and it was really just everybody was turned into a slave, and there's hardly a breath of enlightenment there. I mean, people are definitely struggling, but you see what I mean is like, well, how does how the danger is that we start communicating here and create singularity uh, by forming calm unity. The calm unity is just a language that would start to resonate through and show up algorithmically as a oneness by way of having access the universe. The universe is another way of saying one calm. And see, calm unity is another way of saying calm communications. Unity means coming together, Just kidding. I love drinking my vodka and making this shit up. Just kidding. No, there's stuff that I'll be telling you. This some videos are coming together here now. I'll be able to, with very little support and actually being misunderstood by people in my life, just one. Suffering being projected upon by these people that have a very piss poor vision of you, especially you as a spiritual person, an enlightened one who it's not easy. No, it's not easy to become authentically spiritually enlightened because no, you're going through hell, babe, and you're getting out of it, and you're going in, and you're getting out, and we're kind of plummeting back. We're kind of doing it with this retrogrades, and if we're lucky, we get some kind of really, it's going to happen that the earth calls towards us and says, please sit with me. No, not on your high chair. Fucking big babies. Plop your ass down on the fucking ground. Make yourself comfortable there. If you haven't been able to do that, do it now. Kneel down. Put your knees on the ground. Kneel down. Put your forehead onto the ground. And lift back up. Set it back down. Do that 7 times. That ritual right there is just emptying out your chakras. You might not need it, but people like me do. Creative people, really highly creative people, people that meditate. Everybody needs to stand on their head. Try to do it. I did it, right? Some people stand on their hands. Some people are outright acrobats, man. They're like, oh yeah, that's all you do, huh? I flip around. I do backflips, blah, 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 right? So don't point. See, when you go to the judicial courts, and that's when you begin to loosen your collar and say, man, these people out there, they don't know the facts, man. That there's just a wide variety of us out there. And how about our fucking freedom of just to be able to say, take that right to remain reality. Take that right to remain reality. Say the truth in words. Yeah, it's possible, but make sure you break the barriers. There's a fucking language barrier. There's a barrier, right? The the translation problem. See, I'm gonna do this thing with my pause button. We're gonna get creative now that we know how we can do the pause button. I didn't know the damn thing was there. I didn't know I would sound like this after a while. I gotta get out of the fucking land of spiritual possession here, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that I should go, but where am I gonna go? See, it was requested that I get out of the country, that I just leave. I might be listening to spirits of Indians or something. You're like, okay, you got to get out of here because there's going to be something going on with the spirit of the Indians, and why do you want to take on that karma? Right? And I'll say, well, I don't. What do you want to do? Well, sell out, get a plane ticket for very little, and get out. Say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that maybe I would be mixed up with this. I have, see, the problem is I have a little bit of Osage Indian in me. And I'm with the Indians, though. I say, no, I love the earth, though. I don't care where I'm at. I don't know why I would have to leave anywhere. See, you're just running from what? If anything, did your technology help you stop from being nomads so much? Like, more like what I would call your population, a piece of popcorn? Really? Oh, God. No, we have to achieve balance here. See, if we can't solve the problem of being bombarded with the vibrational frequencies that are tuned really bad. See, these people set up electrical lights and stuff, and the more they do it, the more the bad frequencies. See, everybody knows that the United States, in particularly, they have the 60 cycle hum. There's the 60 cycle hum. That's the hum. That's the thing that you tried to avoid putting you to sleep in your classrooms. If you were anything like me, you went to school during the 70s and 80s, And those classrooms were built in the 20s, and they were all installed with the fluorescent lighting that if you were really quiet and like trying to study, I don't know about you, but I had like really good hearing. I was into listening, and I could just hear um, the 60 cycle hum. It's like it's there, and see, in Europe they have the 70 cycle hum. Why? Well, they know plainly that it's better for you to be exposed to it. I think that what it is it's equal to our hum. We have our own hum too. The earth has its own, and we do. And I think that if I'm right about the 60 cycle hum, their synthetic electricity is at 70. They're harmonizing. It's harmonious. It helps them sleep at night instead of hinders it. It helps them throughout the day concentrate instead of hindering it. See, the United States, and I hope to God that there's these spies around me that you guys are highly sheltered in the hell that you work for Satan over there. And people like me, you don't want to admit that you're watching, but I'm informing you of something that you just don't know, right? Your country here is poisoning you not only with that electricity that they set up all around you. Everybody knows that this is the fact. See, we've talked about it for a long time. My family does. Yeah, but see, my family is pretty much different, is that we talk to each other about these things that are going on, that their government is imposing on them. It's an imposition instead of, they're not benefiting us. They keep undermining us. See, that's my great grandpa. He was exactly half Osage Indian, the one who built my home. Just as a hobby, he did carpentry, but he was a machinist. He was an inventor. My entire family was, but they kept noticing that whoever it is that employs them keeps undermining them and changing the rules to the game. And my great grandma, see, if you can imagine these people seeing what they did in generations, they were able to contain information. Boy, talk about how from one individual to the next, they are like walking time machines and or fucking living black holes. They could be stuck in a loop, just an idealized thing that went on in a certain era that was suggested that is very small bandwidth of a way of life. They could be stuck, and imagine if there's a glimmer of awareness in there, which is human, that says, "Oh, about my condition," which can be rendered up completely alone, really, and in dementia, because you're trying to figure out why don't I match anything here? It's because you're living in your head about everything. That's part of the challenge here, is to get out of all of that programming from your parents' parents, and see. I think I'll close this out with a hint of whatever the teaching of Christ would do, which is just a small pamphlet, 4 pages, I think. But I think other really, really good teachers have said this, and it's about saying and trying to really do it in front of people, is you use your hands and you to heal people and also do things, you know, but mainly to heal people. What are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? How do you present yourself? Are you an attention whore once again? And what you do with your hands is just to get attention from. Oh, it could be. See, it could be a whole bunch of stuff that you brought from Home Depot or something like that. Whatever it is that you've accumulated, you even had to do a lot of work to get the work done. For a very, very little attention from who? Just a few people that are confused about what God really is. And when they finally realize that you're not really gaining approval from God, you're gaining approval from your own need to gain approval from your ego to make it more real than God. Interesting. We're going to keep watching this. Because I say, no, we can fill up that courthouse over there and say, no, there isn't any people here. There's just the truth here, babe. And that's where we're at now. They call themselves the people. Why don't you call them now? You have to dare call yourself the truth. And free those fucking people up. All of them living in prison there, including Cyclops, the wonderful public defender.